Hey,
Hello.
what have we got here?
Well, this is the Teletubby. His real name's
Teletubby.
Teletubby. Well, he's a bit fat.
That's beautiful.
This is Jocelyn's favourite horse, Alex.
So what's the plan? Are you going to take him out for a bit of a workout?
Yeah, we'll just pop him into this little paddock over here just to give him a spin round to see how he's going to behave. Then I might do some work on the tracks just to ease him into it, get him back into work. Hey, Tubbs. Well, usually I just walk off with Ray's in the saddle to get the... introduce him to the weight as such.
She rides, but even that is different from the old days. When she was based in South Africa, she won state and national titles in dressage and show jumping. In New Zealand, she regularly competed at the Horse of the Year shows.
Wait.
Not going too bad, Lizzie?
No, but he's actually pretty good.
3 months without a saddle.
Does he have shoes on or not?
He's got 2 at the back. The front one's just fallen off.
I think 2 at the back's much use.
Sarah is due tomorrow.
Oh, stop it.
Now, she limits herself to a gentle trot in the paddock with a trusted horse.
Tubbs. Come on, Tubby. Get up. Before the injury, I could ride a horse all day. Lots of horses, not a problem, wouldn't blink an eye, and just kept on trucking through. With our eventing horses that we had in South Africa, it was interval training and just, it was all on. And now it's very exciting if I'm allowed to have 10 minutes for a ride before I start getting sick. I get sort of a vertigo and nausea, especially when I'm cantering. So that's not really going to happen. But so it's just being really careful when I get on, especially it's got to be a horse that I can trust. I'll just get you to help me get off. Like even getting off, I can't jump off now and I've got to carefully slither down the side. Can you just bring it. It's a bit close. A little way. Oh, that's it. Okay, hold the legs.
There.
Yep. Feet. Okay. Good boy, Tubbs. Thank you. When I got Mum to take the horse and wash it down, we've learnt from the past that I can't help with that because when I've gotten off the horse
Elizabeth's limit.
and I'm dizzy, nauseous and feeling faint, that is not the ideal time to go around a horse because I'm going to get bumped. So I look like the little Waikato princess that Mummy helps me do everything. But we've just learnt through trial and error to work the way that we do work.
That's Lizzie's limit.
It's just a thrill just to get to go for a ride. It's the old Hattie. It's worth the price, though, isn't it?
She knows it looks ridiculous, but even an hour of riding has wiped her out.
Chubby. Oh, God, he's naughty. In the accident in 2005, I blew out the ligaments in my knees, so that's aching. The lower back's aching, just the general fatigue. I want to throw up. George. I'm getting the shooting pains through my skull, which it's just blinding pains. You're not going to give him a full wash, are you? Oh, Alex, stop it. And yeah, so this is how it's affecting me now, but for the rest of the afternoon, I just have to take it easy. So it's a big deal to go for a 10-minute ride these days, that's pathetic. But so thank goodness for Mum.
I mustn't say it's a disappointment because that's not fair to Lizzie because she didn't wish to be hurt. It's a sad thing. You see this beautiful girl out there being Lizzie, and then I know what she's going to put up with for the next few days. She's in her little room there and I'll probably take her over some dinner or because she just won't eat, she won't make herself a meal.
In the early stages of the head injury, my big thing was that I wanted my old life back. I was very resentful that I was confined to a certain life and lifestyle. And actually a friend's mother, that girl had head injuries herself, and the mother's comment to me was that you've just got to forget about your old life. Forget about it and move on. And I wouldn't. I wanted elements of my old life back, and I think I've worked and fought pretty hard to bring some of those elements into life now.
The internet has been a lifeline, a connection to the world even on the bleakest days.
Hello.
Hi, Lizzie.
Hello, Joan. How are you?
Lizzie has not been content to just hide out on the farm. She figured one thing she could do was get involved in supporting others.
Cool.
Yeah,
Oh, that looks great.
it does, doesn't
What does
it?
the t-shirt look like?
There.
She walked in the doors of the Waikato Head Injury Society and threw herself behind an awareness campaign.
Shall I show you my Facebook page that I've
Yes.
been doing with the Think
I'd be
project?
very interested.
Part of that has been creating a Facebook page to reach out to younger people.
Okie dokie. Come on, Facebook. Where are you?
It's very new.
Ella, do you wanna have
It's been 2 months since we've gone onto Facebook, but it's just taken off like a rocket. And so that in itself has been amazing. People have actually been contacting Facebook, and we're just amazed how that's grown. And so that's all Lizzie has done, all of that.
So it's slowly getting up. They've got a lot of horse people on it, but I'm starting to creep in with a few like rugby and other sporting people. So their names there that I don't know, but it's had really good feedback.
How do they get on?
When I first met Lizzie, just soon after her accident, she was in denial at that stage, and she was actually not doing anything at all for the Head Injury Society because she was still trying to compete and she was still doing her modelling. But in fact, it was not working very well for her because she couldn't understand why she was so fatigued and so tired. And it's only in the last 18 months that Lizzie has finally realised that she really can't do the things that she used to be able to do.
Everything links back to the Waikato Head Injury Society because that's a subsidiary of the Head Injury Society.
There's so many people that you just look at them and you don't think they've got a head injury until you actually know them after a while, or they may mention it, or they maybe in their speech, and in Lizzie's case, when she gets very tired, her speech is affected, and unfortunately that really, she closes right down. So it does happen to other people as well, because whatever they do, even if it's a little bit, they do find that they are so tired they can't take it in, the communication goes then.
Her next step was to set about signing up saddlery stores to offer discounts on their range of helmets. If years of modelling have taught her anything, it's how to work her contacts.
Hello, so lovely to see you again. Thank you so much for supporting me with this project with the Head Injury Awareness Week.
Absolute pleasure.
Today, she's convinced the Olympian Sir John Walker and his daughter Elizabeth Metcalf to front up for a photo shoot at their family-owned business, Stirrups. Sir John's not an easy man to pin down, so it says much about her skills that Lizzie has persuaded him to get on the bandwagon.
This is the first year we're doing it, so hopefully we can do it again next year and the year after that. So it's just growth, education, awareness.
This is the GPA helmet. It was designed in France. It was designed by a guy that was a racing car driver.
Okay. Yeah. I know that they cost a little bit more, but with the discount that you're offering this week with the Head Injury Awareness Week, it's worth getting one because you only get one head, don't you?
You get what you pay for.
If we can prevent just even a handful of people of going through and experiencing what I've had, because you wouldn't wish it upon your worst enemy. It's not a fun way to live. So if we could just educate from young to old, because there is that attitude in New Zealand, oh, she'll be right, you don't have to wear a hat. That's not true. Have you been down to see Bridget and the girls? Are they riding still? Yeah.
Every so often, Lizzie revisits the life she used to have, going out, meeting friends, socialising, but it always comes at a cost.
Please went to that.
She finds someone to drive her to Auckland and goes out on the town with a girlfriend. The sort of outing most single 30-somethings count as routine. But Lizzie can only handle so much. As we found out in the course of filming this story. What we can't show you is that during the lunch break, she hit the wall. She disappeared from the cafe broke down in floods of tears. So it's been a bit of a long day.
Yeah.
How have you got through it?
Well, I really enjoyed coming out and playing in the city, but the wheels came off at lunch.
What happened?
Well, I excused myself, but I just ended up in the the alleyway, bawling my eyes out. And when the director came out, and I was like, "How you going?" I'm like, it's just the way it is. It's too much. There's too much stimulation with too much noise. And me talking for so long, because as you can tell, I like to talk, but it just gets too much for me. So, but I don't usually and it's embarrassing. It's very embarrassing because I don't portray myself as being the person that gets upset and cries. I don't like people seeing that.
No one would pick that you had that little cry during the day. How do you bounce back so quickly?
It wasn't a little cry, it was the ugly cry. I give myself a pep talk. It's like, well, I'm committed to this project with filming today, so I've got to get through it, because I knew that we had a couple of more scenes to do, and just like focus. What's the getting home is the goal. So, and then I've got the rest of the week to just hide and recover.
Lizzie sees a future for herself, but like the thousands of other head injury survivors, it's a different path from the one she had planned.
I want to participate in life, but to do that, I've learnt now that there are boundaries. That's why I'm trying to speak up about head injury awareness, because I'm not the only person in New Zealand that's going through this.
It was a big ask to get Lizzie to spend some time with us. As you can see, she tires easily.
Check out the Think Facebook page. Lizzie started it to help others with brain injuries.